everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be starting yet another reading vlog for you guys. So I have quite the TBR that we are going to talk about. It is a bit ridiculous. However, I certainly do not plan on finishing all 5 of these books within the next, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 days that I'm going to be filming this vlog because A, I'm not insane and B, I'm not delusional. So 4 of these books I'm actually kind of in the middle of currently. And then this last one I haven't started yet. But I'm just gonna talk about the 4 books that I'm in the middle of because I have been like kind of in a reading slump. Not really. I've been kind of in a vlogging slump, but not really. So we're gonna see how this vlog goes, okay? But I do have 4 books to quickly talk about. So first of all, I am in the middle of A Perilous Undertaking by Deanna Raybourn. This is the 2nd book in the Veronica Speedwell mystery series. I read the first book, A Curious Beginning, in my last vlog. I loved it so much. So obviously I went out and bought the 2nd one. And I also went out and bought the 3rd and 4th ones. Yeah, I can tell that I'm really going to enjoy this series. So I do have the rest of that ready to go whenever I end up wanting to pick them up. So I'm in the middle of this one. I'm currently on page 86. It's like, I don't know, 300 or something pages. So this one I do plan on finishing this weekend. I'm very excited about it. Currently in this book we're kind of being introduced to the mystery that we're going to be solving. It definitely sounds juicy, very interesting. I'm excited to see how this book is going to go. I've really been enjoying it so far. I do think it's been a bit of a slow start, but once they actually start, you know, like solving this mystery, I think it'll get really fun. So gonna finish this one, and then this other one I will also be able to finish, and that is Lore Olympus Volume 3. I read Volume 2 last weekend. I didn't like vlog it or anything, but it did happen. So I started Volume 3 last weekend as well, and I just never finished it. So I have no idea where I am in this. I'll just have to kind of look through and see which of the panels I remember, but obviously, hopefully, I should be able to finish this one up this weekend. I'm really enjoying Lore Olympus, so I've been really excited to read the rest of it. So this will be happening. Then I'm also currently in the middle of a reread of The Infernal Devices. Currently I'm reading Clockwork Prince. I'm on page like 105. I won't spend too much time talking about this because I know I talk about this series constantly, but I wanted to introduce it because I am kind of listening to this on audio and I want to start like a new crochet sort of project this weekend. So I'm thinking while I'm doing that, I can like listen to the audiobook. It'll be good because I've already read this, so I don't have to give it like my full attention. But it'll just be something nice to put on in the background. It'll be perfect. I don't know if I'm gonna finish this one. It really depends on how much crocheting I end up doing this weekend. So maybe that'll happen. This next book is definitely rather different from the other books that I have here. That's because it is a classic. I'm very excited that I'm finally reading classic again. It'll be my first classic of 2023. I think it'll also be the longest classic that I've ever read if I actually end up finishing it. But I think I will. I have faith in myself. Recently, I've been watching a ton of Carolyn Marie reads on YouTube. She makes the most lovely videos about classics, and the way she talks about them, it just makes me want to like read them all. So I decided that I should pick one up. This is actually a classic that I have started in the past. I think I made it like 300 pages into this book and then I stopped. But I've decided it is finally going to happen. I'm finally going to finish Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. Yes, I finally got myself to pick this book up again. I've decided to annotate it this time because I think if I can, you know, like interact with the text on a like deeper level, then I will probably be more likely to finish it. And I'm really enjoying the annotating process. I just think it's really fun. I love annotating classics because I feel like with books like this specifically, there's always so much to like talk about and comment on and look back on later. Like my very heavily annotated copy of Dracula is one of my absolute favorite books to like flip back through and see what I wrote. So having a good time doing this. I'm also just really enjoying the book in general. I think I'm on page like 225 or something. I know I was enjoying it the first time I tried to read it, so I'm not surprised that I'm enjoying it this time. I just find that Charles Dickens's way of writing is very accessible. It's very funny. I always just have a good time. There's always so many just wild characters. Like all of his characters are big and over the top, and you know, it might be a bit much sometimes, but it's also just really entertaining and I'm having a good time reading this. I don't think I'm going to finish this weekend because I don't hate myself. I don't know. I think my goal for this weekend is going to be to make it past this, which is where I stopped the first time. That's on page like 300. So if I can make it past where I stopped the first time, then we'll keep the momentum going and I'll finish it sometime in like March. We'll see. Anyway, it's happening. I'm so excited that it's happening. Also, obviously I have to mention this. One of the other main reasons that I decided to pick up Great Expectations specifically is because this is the book that The Last Hours is based on by Cassandra Clare. Obviously we all know I love The Last Hours. And that's actually the reason why I picked up this book in the first place, because when I first read The Last Hours, I was like, I should read Great Expectations. Didn't finish it, but I think this time it might actually happen. And I've been having such a good time seeing all of the like parallels and where things come from. There is this character in this book whose name is Mrs. Havisham. Dead ringer for Tatiana, you know what I'm saying? They're both insane. Specifically, this one thing that I thought was really cool was in this book. Our main character, Pip, goes to this woman whose name is Miss Havisham. She's just crazy. She's a weird woman, you know? So when he goes into her house, he notices that all of the clocks are stopped at like 20 to 9, maybe? I could actually look that up. 20 minutes to 9. Oh my god, I opened up to the right page. At 20 minutes to 9. And then also in The Last Hours, when James and whoever the hell else goes with him into Blackthorn Manor, where Tatiana is staying, resides, I don't know. The clocks there are also stopped at 20 to 9, and I thought that was a fun detail. Anyway, I have spent way too much time talking about this book, so we're gonna move on. Just know that I'm hoping to make some progress in this book this weekend. And then finally, yes, I know, there is another one. This is a book that I really need to start because me and my friend Elaine, we are buddy reading this book and she's already finished it, and it's an 800-page book and I haven't even started it yet. And I'm like, Katie, no. I just can't get myself to want to pick it up. However, I do now have the audiobook for it, which I think will be very helpful. And that is House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J. Maas. Me and Elaine, we buddy read the first book in this series together back in July. Neither of us were really vibing with it, but there's something that happens at the end of this book and I'm like, damn it. I know what happens at the end of this book even though I haven't read it, and it really makes me want to continue the series because, yeah, Sarah J. Maas, she really won out with this one. Like, she got me with this cliffhanger, and I need to read this book now. Even though I don't think I'm going to love it. And originally I was just going to watch, who is it? Carrie from Carrie Can Read. She has like plot summary videos that are like an hour long for like some of the Sarah J. Maas books. So I was just gonna watch that video before I read whatever the third book in the Crescent City is. But I'm a bit of a completionist. It's a problem. But I was like, I can't read the third one unless I've actually read the second one. So here we are. I'm trying to go into it with an open mind. I think if I adjust my expectations, I'll probably give it like a 3-star or something. I was talking to Elaine. She said it got a lot better towards the end. So, the only problem is the end is like, you know, 750 pages in. But I'm gonna start it. I'm gonna see how I feel about it. Yes, my goal was to have this read by the end of February. But it's February 23rd now, so I don't know if I can really read an 800-page book in 5 days, especially because I really want to make some progress in all of these other books too. So we're just kind of going to see how this goes. I just really need to make some progress so I can at least start talking to Elaine about this book, because I know being able to like make fun of things and like talk about things with Elaine throughout the course of me reading this is going to be my saving grace. We always just have like the most entertaining conversations about Sarah J. Maas books specifically. So I'm excited to talk to her. Oh, it's like focusing on his face. Stop that. I'm excited to start talking with her about it, but I don't know if I'm actually excited to start it. Anyway, that is my stack of books that we're planning on making progress in this weekend. This looks ridiculous now that I'm actually looking at it. So it is currently Thursday morning at 11 o'clock. I'm thinking this vlog will go for like 3 or 4 days. I'm not sure yet. We're kind of just gonna have to, we'll feel things out. We'll see how it goes. And I do have a few plans for today. One of them is not fun. I have to go to class at 2. I have class from like 2 to 3:15. When does that class get out? I don't know. Somewhere around there, so I have to go to that. But I'm thinking I want to go do some plant shopping afterwards because it's been so long since I bought any new plants for like my room or my apartment or whatever. So I definitely want to get like something new for my room because I just love having a bunch of plants, and I've decided that since none of my plants have died in a while, it's time to go get a new one. So I definitely want to do that, and I will definitely take you guys along with me for that. And aside from that, my only real plan for today is to read A Perilous Undertaking. I'm very excited to read some more of this, so I think I'm going to start with this one. I don't know if I'm going to finish it today or what. I do have other plans for the weekend. I definitely want to start crocheting something, but I'm gonna go yarn shopping like tomorrow or Saturday. Maybe, so that'll be in here somewhere. I need to make my March bullet journal spread, so that'll be in here somewhere. I just have a bunch of things that I want to do in this vlog, so the likelihood of me doing those things definitely decreases as I add more activities, but we'll just have to see. Anyway, I've been talking for way too long, so we're just gonna get into this vlog. I'm gonna read some of this book until I go to class, and I'll give you an update later. It's 12:30 and I have made some good progress in this book so far. I made it up to page 178. I'm enjoying this book so much. I feel like we finally like started to get into the investigation part. So finally they're like going out, investigating places, picking up clues, all that fun stuff. And now that we're finally in that kind of section of the book, you know, there's like tense situations, there's a lot of bickering, there's a lot of bantering, like all the good stuff from this series. Like it's finally, you know, getting into it in this book, and I'm enjoying that so much. Again, I don't know if I'm like that interested in the mystery that they're solving, but I don't even care. And I will say it again, I love the interactions between Veronica and Stoker. They're just so entertaining, and there's already so much tension between them, and I just know that that's going to like build and build over the course of the series, and I'm so excited to see that. So yeah, I'm kind of thinking maybe I could finish this today. I definitely would not mind finishing this book up today because I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm thinking like either a 4 or 5 star for this one as well. I'm just like, I'm so excited that there are so many books in this series that I have ahead of me to read. It's gonna be such a good time. I think there's like 7 books out in this series currently, and the 8th book comes out in March. So there's just so many books to read, so much content that I'm excited for. I also think this is like one of the only series that I've like genuinely really enjoyed that's not fantasy, which I just find interesting, and it really speaks to how well I think these characters are written. So I'm having like, it's so fun. Oh my god, I might I don't know. I might have to do some rearranging on my TBR because I could pick up the 3rd one this weekend as well. I do have it over there. It's looking at me right now. I might read it. I don't know. We'll just see. So it is currently 12:40. Like I said earlier, I do have class at 2. So I'm going to eat some lunch, go to that, and then I'm going to do some plant shopping, which I'm so excited about. Like, I love plant shopping, but I try not to do it too often because it's expensive. But I just want to pick up, you know, something new, something fun. I have no idea where I'm going to put it though. We'll figure that out later. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later when I have hopefully made some progress with A Perilous Undertaking. Okay, so it's the next day. It's like Friday afternoon at 1, meaning the weekend is officially upon us. I did have class this morning, but now it's over and it is finally time to do some more reading. I did do a bit of reading last night. I did do a bit while I was out and about this morning. But before I get into the couple of updates that I have for you guys since the last time that I talked to you, I do want to show you the plants that I picked up yesterday because I had such a lovely plant shopping experience yesterday, which is like very random, but like it was just so peaceful because it was a Thursday afternoon and there was like nobody there. It's just me looking at the plants. There were so many good plants there. Like there was a really good selection. I was very excited about it. I had to rein myself in though because I was about to like buy 5 of them, but I was like, no, because the likelihood of killing new plants for me is like very high. Like obviously I have some established plants, I guess, in my room. I have like 4 that I've managed to keep alive for quite a while now, and I'm rather impressed with myself. I'm scared. I don't want to jinx it because like I love my plants, but I bought 2 more and I wanted to show you them because I think they're very cute. First of all, I bought this ivy. What kind of ivy is this? Its full name is Hedera helix. So I've had ivy like one other time before and I killed it. It got fried. I think I just had it in the wrong place in my room. Like I think it might have been a little bit too much sun. Like this is medium light, so maybe not on the windowsill, or maybe, I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. But I love the way ivy looks. I just think it's so pretty. I love like the lighter color around the leaves, like on the outside. And I'm really hoping that I don't kill this plant because I think it's very pretty. And then this other one I have here, I love. Like, I don't know, something about it is kind of giving Beatrix Potter, English, garden kind of vibes to me. And I don't know why, because this says that this plant is from South America, but it kind of, I don't know, something about it is giving very like springy English garden. And I don't know why. But I had to get it. Like as soon as me and this plant made eye contact, I was like, you are coming home with me. So this is the white butterfly arrowhead plant, but its full name is the Syngonium podophyllum. Podophyllum? I don't know. It says it enjoys low light, which is good. I have like my pothos here and whatever that is, and I think they're also like low light plants, so I'm probably just gonna like put it over here somewhere. Maybe. I don't know. But there's my mini plant haul just because I love getting new plants. It's definitely been a while since I bought a new plant. Like I think I got this one early last summer, but that was the last time I bought a new plant. So I decided since that one's doing well, we're gonna try it again. There was this fern there and it was called like a fantasy fern or whatever. What's the name of it? I think I showed it in like the B-roll and I was like, it's so tempting to get this just because it's called like a fantasy fern and I think it was kind of funny. But I don't love the look of ferns and I don't know how to take care of ferns. So that was maybe another time, but for now I decided to just go with these 2. Anyway, there's my plant haul if anybody cared. But I do have some reading updates for you, so we can talk about these really quickly. So first up, I did not finish A Perilous Undertaking, but I am quite a ways through it. I'm on page 270 now, so I think I have like 50 pages left or something. Obviously, I will be finishing this one up tonight. I'm having such a good time reading this book. Like maybe a 5-star, maybe a 4-star. I still don't know. I love it so much and I'm so excited. I also am definitely a little bit more interested and invested in the kind of mystery that they're trying to solve. Somebody is going to be hanged and like all the people around this guy don't think he did it. And like they're trying to prove that, and it's very interesting. It's very tense because like, you know, the execution or whatever is going to happen soon. And like these people have enlisted the help of Veronica and Stoker. Well, like they kind of made them help. Who are amateur detectives and they're like not happy that it's not going well. And I'm like, what do you expect? They're amateur detectives. And honestly, I really like that because there are definitely points in this book where like, you know, Veronica or Stoker does something that's not necessarily, you know, like they make mistakes in their solving of the mystery. And I definitely think that's a more fun dynamic to watch than detectives who are just like know everything instantly. So very much enjoying it. Going to finish it up tonight. I'm very excited to see the threads of the mystery come together because we're definitely getting, you know, little bits of information here and there, but I'm excited to see it all come together. I have my suspicions I don't know if they're gonna be right because normally they're not, but I'm excited to see if my suspicions are correct. So there's this one, but I did read a couple more chapters of Great Expectations. I'm on page 251 now. I think my goal of making it to 300 this weekend is very doable, and I'm excited about that. So I don't know if anything remarkable has really happened in the last 3 chapters of this book. I definitely think I enjoyed the first part of Great Expectations more because in that part you're kind of focusing on Pip as a young lad, and he's just a very entertaining child, honestly. Like, something I find really funny is just like anytime he does anything, he thinks he's gonna go to jail for it. But he's like 7, and I'm like, dude, you need to calm down. But I don't know, I just like the dynamic of like the people he's around when he's younger more. Obviously his sister, she's something, but I do love his interactions with Joe in the first part. But now that I'm like 8 chapters into part 2, I definitely think I'm not enjoying it as much. I also want to see more of like Estella and Miss Havisham, who are very present in the first part of this book, and I find his like relationship with both of them to be like very fascinating, which I know will come back into play later, but I feel like it's been a while, so I feel like maybe soon we will just, oh, I saw her name. Maybe sooner than I thought, but I do, like, I feel like I'm kind of in a lull with it right now, but I have great expectations. No, I'm not, that's such a lame joke. But I have high hopes that I will enjoy this more as I progress through it, so I thought I would give you the update on that as well. Anyway, it is, like I said, Friday afternoon. I don't have any plans for tonight. Who would have thought? I know you're all very shocked. So I've gone out, and guess what I got? You'll never guess. I did go out and I got my Diet Coke. It is delicious. Best way to start off the weekend. So let's talk plans for tonight. I'm thinking, well, I am gonna read some more chapters of Great Expectations, kind of just meet my goal for the day, which is kind of like 3-ish chapters, maybe. We'll see. Obviously, I want to finish A Perilous Undertaking, which should not take me very long because I only have like 50 pages left. And then, what am I gonna do after that? I don't know. I'm thinking perhaps, maybe, I will start reading House of Sky and Breath. Now I'm thinking that I need to look up a plot summary of the first book because I do not remember what happens at the end of that book now that I'm thinking about it. Normally, like, if I give 5 or 6 months in between books and series, I kind of remember what happens, but right now I'm blanking, so I'll look up my a plot summary and then maybe I will start this book. We'll see. There is always a possibility that I might start the 3rd book in this series, which is one of these books I have over here. Ooh, actually, I really want to start this one, I think, now that I'm kind of looking at the cover, because I think they go to Egypt in this one. Yes. Oh, this sounds fun. I don't want to read too much of the synopsis on the back, but you can see there's kind of like hieroglyphs, kind of, behind the London skyline, which excites me. Like, I knew there was one point in this series where they went to Egypt, and I knew I was really excited about that. So I might start the 3rd book, which is A Treacherous Curse. I don't know. We're just gonna see where the rest of the night takes me, but for now I'm going to finish this book. Okay, so it is quite a bit later. It is 6 o'clock now, and I have more reading updates for you. I have 2. In fact, first of all, I did indeed finish A Perilous Undertaking. I don't know what I'm gonna rate it. It's either gonna be a 4 or 5 star. There were definitely some scenes towards the end that I was absolutely loving. Like, there were definitely some really tense scenes towards the end of this book, but they definitely made the bond, I guess you could say, between our two main characters, like, so much deeper and on a more emotional level. And I am so excited to see how things are gonna go in the rest of this series. Like, I am so tempted to start A Treacherous Curse, but by the same token, I don't want to finish this series like immediately, you know, but I don't know. I might start this, I'm just not sure. I'll figure it out later. But A Perilous Undertaking was fantastic. I don't know if I love how the mystery wrapped up. It was definitely interesting, and I certainly was not right in my suspicions. Maybe one of these days I will guess like the twist or the ending to a mystery or a thriller, but it has not happened yet. So I don't know what that says about me, but it certainly makes the books more fun to read because I never see it coming. So I very much enjoyed A Perilous Undertaking. I might just give it a 5 stars. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, I have also made some progress in Great Expectations. I'm now up to page 280. I think I've read like 3 chapters. And we did indeed get to see Miss Havisham and Estella again. I just find their characters to be like the most interesting. So while I don't necessarily, you know, like the relationship that both of them have with Pip, they're definitely like the most interesting to read about, and I really enjoy those chapters. Honestly, like some of the quotes in these chapters have been like stunning. But also I was like, I cannot condone Pip's adoration for Estella, because like Estella herself, she's like, I don't have a heart, don't love me, but Pip's like, oh my god, she looks so pretty today. And I'm so excited to see how their dynamic maybe develops over the course of this book. Maybe there won't be any development at all. I have no idea, like literally no clue what happens at the end of this book or what terms they're left on. Also, since we've seen more of Miss Havisham and Estella, those are mainly where like the connections between this book and The Last Hours comes into play, because it's mainly the dynamic between like Pip, Miss Havisham, and Estella that's used in The Last Hours between like James, Grace, and Tatiana. For a while there, I was definitely thinking that Biddy was kind of who Cordelia was based off of, and I could definitely still see that, because there was this one part in here where I think Pip was talking about how he could be with Biddy, but like he just feels this connection to Estella, and I was like, this seems familiar. So I'm definitely thinking that I would like to read some more of this tonight. I'm thinking I'm adjusting my goal for the weekend, because I do think I could make it to volume 3 of this book this weekend, which is on page like 370 or something. So that seems very doable, and that's gonna be the goal for this weekend. So we'll see how that goes. However, after I read a few more chapters of Great Expectations, I do want to pick up a different book, and I think it's gonna be this one. So let's do it. Actually, these have very similar color schemes. So I think I will probably update you guys tomorrow. I do think in the morning I'm going to go to Joann's and get some yarn, because I'm finally gonna start a crochet project that I've been wanting to try my hand at for the longest time, because I've seen a couple people do it and it looks really cool. And there are patterns out there for it, but I think I'm going to try doing it on my own first, and we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to crochet Howl's jacket from Howl's Moving Castle. Obviously, I love Howl's Moving Castle so much. It's like one of my favorite movies ever, and I love Howl's jacket. And I've seen people crochet like sort of more cardigan-like versions of it, and I want to try that because it sounds really fun. Now that I'm thinking about it, I could listen to the audiobook for House of Sky and Breath instead of the audiobook for Clockwork Prince. Is that the one I'm reading? Yes, because I do need, like, it's a bigger priority for me currently to finish House of Sky and Breath, so that could be something I do tomorrow. I don't know. I will definitely keep you updated on the process of my crochet cardigan, because I'm so excited to start it. I've had this idea for like months now, and I just really haven't been in the mood to crochet something, but it's time. I'm gonna get my yarn and I'm gonna take a crack at it. So I will show you guys the yarn and the yarn shopping when I talk to you tomorrow. morning, everybody. It is Saturday morning. I'm currently in the car because I'm on my way to A, go to McDonald's, obviously, and get my Diet Coke. And B, I'm going to quickly go do some yarn shopping. Me and Cass do have a live show for Wyverns and Words in a bit, but I think I have enough time that, like, it'll be fine. I'm not, like, looking for too many colors or anything, so quickly gonna do some yarn shopping. But before I do that, I thought I could give you some reading updates because I have two for you guys. So first of all, I'm very excited about this. I have an update for Great Expectations. I read quite a bit of this book yesterday, and I actually made it up to volume 3. So I made it to page 373, even though a few days ago I was like, I don't even know if I'll make it that far, but like, I was just in it last night. I was enjoying myself. I just kept on going. Things have been revealed, mainly like the one thing that like you want to know, because in this book, if you don't know, our main character Pip starts out as this, like, he doesn't have a lot of money, but one day he gets a anonymous benefactor who is going to bring him out into society as a gentleman. He got like all this money when he was 18, and I think right now he's 23, and he just found out who it was. So he's been waiting for 5 years. I feel like I've been waiting for 5 years. I definitely had like thoughts about who I thought it was, but I didn't really, you know, spend too much time thinking or hypothesizing. What? I guess that works there. But I'm very interested to see how Pip is going to go forward throughout his life with this news. He definitely had some revelations in the last chapter that I read, and I don't know how he's feeling about these. I don't know how I'm feeling about these, but I'm excited to read some more nonetheless. I still don't think I'm gonna finish this book in this vlog. However, I made quite a bit more progress than I was anticipating, so that is very exciting. I also told myself that when I finish this book, just because it's been on my TBR for so long, I'm going to go buy another classic, because currently I've been on like a normal book buying ban, but I've like strictly been on a no classic book buying ban, you know, because every time I buy classics, I like never read them, and it doesn't bother me like that much because obviously it doesn't really matter when in my life I read classics. You know, with a lot of books, it's probably better if I read them sooner after they come out. But like, classics are classics. They will be classics for the rest of my life, so I figure I have the rest of my life to read them. But I still don't want to amass too many without having read them. So when I finish this one, I am going to allow myself to buy another one. And I'm thinking I'm gonna buy Anne of Green Gables, and I'm so excited about it because I feel like, especially now that we're kind of coming up to spring, sort of, it's still like a month away, but you know, close enough. I feel like Anne of Green Gables is a good book to read for spring. I also have an update on something very different. So I did start reading House of Sky and Breath. I made it up to page 99, and I don't know how I'm feeling about it, which is unsurprising. Because in the prologue, I think, we're kind of introduced to this character. I don't know if she was in the last book or not. If she was, I certainly do not remember her. Or if she's like a new character, I do not care about her. So in the prologue, I was like, oh no, this is gonna be terrible. However, now that I've gotten back with like the characters that we already know, I wouldn't say I'm liking it, but I'm not hating it as much as I thought I was going to. So far, what really have we been doing? Well, there was like a frat party for like the first 60 pages of the book, and I was like, if I wanted to experience a frat party, I would go to one. I don't want to read about this like frat party full of, you know, like fae and werewolves and whatever the hell else were there. I was not into that concept. I was like, why? I don't want beer pong in my fantasy novels. I don't know. It's happening. I'm not completely hating it, which is always good. And my mom has sent me pictures of our cats. Oh my god, they're so cute. Aww. I miss them. My mom sends me pictures of them like daily, but I still miss them. But anyway, those are kind of the reading updates that I have for you this morning. I don't think I'm going to finish either of them, but that's okay. So, plans for today. It is currently... Oh, is that a cat? What? Am I losing it, or was that like actually a cat? I think I just saw a cat walk in front of my car right as I was like... I just talked about my own cats too. That's weird. I definitely saw a cat here another time when I was vlogging. In this very spot. Anyway, that was random. But I don't see the cat. So anyway, we're talking about plans for today. That's what we were doing. So I'm gonna go get some yarn. I'm going to hopefully start my cardigan while I listen to the audiobook for House of Sky and Breath. Me and Cass also have our live show in a bit, which I'm gonna do. I think I'm also going to read Lore Olympus Volume 3 today. So many plans are potentially happening. I think that's everything that I needed to talk about. I think I'm just going to mainly focus on making progress in both of these today. So that's that, and I will see you later. Okay, so it is 11:30 now. Me and Cass just got done with our live, and I thought I could quickly show you my Joann's haul. Yeah, it won't be very long. I just got, you know, two. I got this pink color and this like bluish, purple-ish color. I don't think these are exact matches for the colors that are on Hal's jacket, but well, actually it's not too bad. So yes, we have these. I'm going to start making like the diamonds that are on the front panel of his jacket. It's time to figure out, well, A, if I have my crocheting hook, that might be something to find out. Is it? Yeah, it's at the bottom. So I'm going to spend a minute getting the hang of making these diamonds. I'm watching a tutorial from some lovely old woman on YouTube who is teaching me how to make these diamonds first. And then I think I will start listening to my audiobook for House of Sky and Breath, just because I know if I start listening to this like from the beginning as I'm trying to also figure out how to make these diamonds, I will remember none of what goes on. So those are my plans for the foreseeable future. I'll probably get bored of crocheting at some point in time later today, and then maybe I will pick up, where'd it go? It's here somewhere. Oh, it's over there. The third volume of Lore Olympus. So those are kind of the tentative plans for the rest of the morning and the afternoon. So let's do it. So it is 2:30 now. I do have an update on this book for you in a moment, but I thought I could show you how the crocheting is coming. I don't know if I would say it's coming well, but things are happening. I don't know. Obviously this like looks ridiculous because it's like a really small patch of it, but I don't know if I'm doing these diamonds exactly well. They're a bit like lopsided, and I'm just not, like, I've never crocheted a diamond shape like this before, nor am I good at like increasing and decreasing, like doing those kind of stitches. So we'll just have to see how this goes. It looks a bit puckered too, because based on like the weights of these yarns being slightly different, like the pink diamonds are a bit bigger than the blue diamonds. So we are going to take a pause on this for now, because it's not going, like, it's not going terribly. It doesn't look bad. I don't know. That seems like a project to continue another day. However, it has been, you know, pretty peaceful. I do like sitting down with my audiobooks and crocheting. So I have made a decent chunk of progress in House of Sky and Breath. I'm up to page 209 now, so I think I listened to like 100 or so pages. And, you know, I'm not hating it. I feel very neutral on it, which is kind of how I felt about the first book in the series as well. I heard this complaint from somebody once, and I think it's a very valid complaint, that there are way too many male perspectives in this book, and I don't like it. In this book, you have Bryce, and you kind of have Bryce's friends, Fury and Juniper, and they're like kind of there, but you don't really see them a lot. So it's basically just like Bryce and this collection of men, and like Hunt and Rune I'm kind of okay with, but like the rest of these dudes, I'm like, I don't care about these men. You know, like, when it's just, it's not giving. Sarah J Maas is who I go to for like fun fantasy romance, and that's just not what this is giving me. And I feel like there's way too much plot in this book for me to actually enjoy it, I guess. Like, I don't know. I'm just not exactly vibing with this series, which I'm not surprised. I, you know, am very invested in this series, even though I don't like this series, which is quite the dichotomy. But based on, I feel like I say this every single time I talk about this series, but based on the things that happen at the end of it, I'm very excited to kind of read that scene with the context that it probably requires, because when I first read it, I read like the last 10 pages of this book because I wanted to know what happened. But I hadn't read anything up to that point, so I was kind of just like, ooh, okay, cool, but why is this happening? But you know, I figured maybe the context of the rest of this 800-page book would be, you know, interesting. I'm going to take a break on this for now. I will definitely listen to some of it, I don't know, tomorrow maybe. I could listen to this while I'm doing my March journaling spread thingy. We'll see. It's definitely just like good to kind of throw on because I feel like I don't have to give this book my like full attention, so it's kind of nice. So I'm going to take a break on that for now. Currently it's 2:30. I do have plans at 6. Me and one of my friends are gonna go get dinner, like watch a movie or something to that effect. But I have like 3.5 hours until we're meeting up, so obviously I want to get some reading in. First of all, I think I'm going to switch up the format a bit, and I'm going to read the rest of this graphic novel, which I'm so excited about. I've just been having such a good time reading Lore Olympus, so I am jazzed to jump back into this 3rd volume. So I'm going to be finishing this up this afternoon, and then I am also going to jump back into Great Expectations, which I'm very excited about. Never thought I'd utter those words, but I'm just really enjoying this book. So I'm going to read a couple of chapters. Theoretically, I could finish this book this weekend. I don't know if I'm going to commit to a goal like that just yet, but I only have like 200 pages left, so I'm kind of like, what if I just jumped in and tried to finish this book today and tomorrow? I don't know. We'll see, but that could happen. The only problem is I'm running out of tabs, which is not good because Cass sent me these tabs a while ago and they're from Daiso, and we don't have Daisos in, I'm not sure if there's one in Missouri at all, but I just love these tabs, and as you can tell, I've used like just an absurd amount of them in this book, but I'm so scared that I'm gonna run out before I finish because like these are almost completely gone. I think these are dwindling, and I have one left of one of these colors that I'm using. So that's like not great. However, I will have an opportunity very soon to go to a certain place where I can replenish my tabs. So that's very exciting. Doesn't change the fact that I'm almost out of these tabs now though. I keep getting on like ramblings and tangents in this vlog. I cannot film update clips that are less than like 10 minutes. So I'm going to partake in the reading plans that I previously announced. And I will talk to you guys probably after I finish Lore Olympus Volume 3, and then we'll get into this. You'll be able to hear this, but there is somebody in one of the apartments around me that is playing the drums very aggressively, which is not exactly like the background ambiance music I was wanting for like reading today, but it's something that's happening. So if you can hear it, I'm so sorry. But I have an update. So I read a little bit more, or I guess I also finished Lore Olympus. I'll talk about Lore Olympus first because I finished that first, but it is all the way over on my desk and I don't want to get up. But I did finish Lore Olympus Volume 3. I absolutely loved it. I can't wait to pick up the 4th one. I know it either like came out recently or it is coming out. I'm not sure. Okay, it comes out on June 6th, I think. Yes, June 6th. So, what month is it? That's like 4 months away. Oh, that's sad. Oh well, anyway, when that comes out, I will indeed be picking it up and I'm very excited about it. But I just like, I love those graphic novels so much, especially like my favorite panels are the ones where Persephone is still like, it's wherever she is when she's still with her mother Demeter, because it's like very pretty, because I think Demeter is like, is she the goddess of spring? Is she the goddess of the harvest? What does she do? She is the goddess of the harvest. I was right. Oh, and Persephone, I think, is the goddess of spring. Okay, so every time she is like with her mother, like in that place, it's like the illustrations are so beautiful and I love them so much. It was like so good. But as with the others, this one definitely hit on some heavier topics and kind of explored what it can be like to tell another person about those kinds of things. And I really like that it's woven into these so seamlessly, and I think it's really well done. So very much enjoying Lore Olympus, and I'm very excited for volume 4. But I do have another very exciting update on Great Expectations. I have made it up to page 418, and it's not necessarily exciting in the fact that like good things are happening, because like good things are not happening for Pip right now, but I have finally gotten to the kind of 2 quotes that really made me want to pick up this book, and they're just like, I love these quotes so much. Like one of these is absolutely like one of my favorite quotes ever, and being able to read it like in the context that it was originally intended was just like, wow. It's so short too, but oh my god, I love it. He's talking to somebody. What can I never know what the protocol is for spoilers with classics, but whatever. Pip is talking to somebody and he's like, you are a part of my existence, part of myself. You have been in every line I have ever read since I first came here, the rough common boy whose poor heart you wounded even then. So not so much like a happy quote, because the relationship that he's referring to is rather tragic. But the you have been in every line I've ever read part is like, I don't even know what it is about that, but I love it so much. Especially like as somebody who also loves to read, I'm just like, wow. But then I also got to one of the other lines that I've been waiting for, and I'll read it and then I'll explain it, obviously. So this one's also rather short, but it says, to the last hour of my life, you cannot choose but remain part of my character, part of the little good in me, part of the evil. And that is obviously where the title for the Last Hour series comes from. And I've been waiting for that line, because again, like being able to read it in like the context that it came from is just so much better than hearing it like as the title of this like other series, you know what I'm saying? But also reading these quotes is making me upset. Like this isn't really spoilers for anything that happens in the last hours, because it's more like what that series lacks. And it's the fact that neither of those quotes are ever said throughout the last hours. And like, I get maybe it would be a little bit cheesy, but they do it in the Infernal Devices, because I think the like, you are the last dream of my soul bit that a couple of the characters say to each other, like that's from A Tale of Two Cities. So why did we not get like a to the last hour of my life moment, or like a you have been in every line I've ever read moment? And I am just like sitting here upset about it, because I would have lost my shit if that would have been in there, but it wasn't. And it's just a missed opportunity, but it's fine. Actually, it's not fine. I'm not fine. Anyway, it's currently 5:24. I think I'm just gonna read like a couple more chapters before I leave. I'm starting to think that I could potentially finish this book this weekend, which is crazy because there was not even a potential thought in my mind when I first started this vlog, but also I'm like, what else am I gonna read? I could read House of Sky and Breath, but honestly, I would rather read Great Expectations, so I might attempt to finish this weekend, which is very exciting. So yeah, those are currently where my thoughts are with Great Expectations. So I'm just going to read some more of this until I leave tonight, and then I will probably read some more of this when I get back, and I will definitely talk to you guys tomorrow with an update as to how it's going. So yes, that was an exciting update. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Shockingly enough, I did not end the vlog on Sunday. I was going to, but I could not like put my thoughts into coherent sentences to save my life. So I was like, okay, we're just gonna try this another day. So it's Tuesday, and I'm here to give you my final reading updates, my final thoughts, an overview of all the books that I read, and a movie review. Because on Saturday night, I finally watched Stardust, which is the movie based off of the Neil Gaiman book, which I read the Neil Gaiman book a couple of years ago. I didn't absolutely love it, but I had like a decent time, you know, but me and my friend were trying to find something to watch because we just like didn't really have any ideas. We were scrolling through whatever streaming service it's on, but she's seen it a couple times. Like, she watched it when she was a child. I'd never seen it before, and we watched it and it was so funny. Like, I don't know, I was thoroughly entertained. Like, the movie's not that great, but I had a really good time. Like, we were just absolutely losing it. Like, if I was watching it on my own, I probably would have been so about it, but like being able to watch it with my friend, it was just like such a good experience. And like the whole part where they meet like the pirates, absolute favorite scene. Like, gay pirates, say less, you know what I'm saying? And it does not compare to the book like at all. Like, the movie is so much more fun than the book is. Like, the book's okay, but oh my god. And the CGI is so bad in it too, which makes it even better. So there's my movie review, because I wanted to talk about it. Anyway, I have a final reading update for you, because on Sunday morning I finished Great Expectations. I was not expecting to finish this book this weekend, but I was honestly just having a good time, so I was like, okay, fine. I guess I'll read the whole thing. So I actually ended up very much enjoying this book. Like, it's not my new favorite classic or anything. Like, that will always go to what's sitting right here, Dracula. Love Dracula. Nothing, like, no vibes can even touch the vibes that Dracula has, but honestly kind of like the vibes of Great Expectations, because there's a lot of imagery of, like, you know, mist and fog and ghosts or whatever. So it's not like spooky or anything, but those are just a lot of like things that are used in this book. So it definitely gave me like a gloomy, depressing day in England kind of vibe for the entirety of the book. And especially like when Pip goes to see Miss Havisham, that like for sure is like a spooky atmosphere. There's like this scene where he's there when he's a little bit older, and he sees her like walking around the house like moaning, like a ghost essentially haunting her own house. And I was like, I'm like, this is kind of scary. Like, not really, but I was like, if I woke up at like 3 a.m. Well, I don't think you woke up. I think you just been up. But like if I heard that in like a big like, you know, decrepit house at 3 a.m, I would be losing my shit and I would be leaving. But just the atmosphere overall, very much enjoyed. The story overall, very much enjoyed. There's definitely a lot of discussion around like classism, and throughout the book you can kind of see Pip starting to develop those prejudices against, you know, like the common folk. And you can definitely see him, like throughout the course of the book, kind of think critically about it and overcome those feelings of prejudice based on certain events that are happening in his life, and I thought that was very interesting. I also ended up very much enjoying the end of this book. Like the last chapter, I wasn't necessarily expecting that ending, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. I was looking at something earlier today, and I don't remember what it was, but I'm pretty sure it was relating to Great Expectations, and I think there was originally like a different ending for this book, because the ending of this book is definitely very melancholic and like rather sad, but I think the last chapter kind of gives it a bit more hope, and like you as a reader feel a bit more hopeful for the future. But it's not exactly what I was expecting, and I think the original ending is definitely more along the lines of what I was expecting. But something I find interesting, and I am going to bring the last hours into this again, because Chain of Thorns originally had a different ending as well, but Cassandra Clare changed it, I think because it was like so sad and everything going on with the pandemic. She didn't want to make like the ending to this series super sad. And based on the things that happened at the ending of this book, I am so intrigued by what the original ending to Chain of Thorns was, because there are like, I'm curious to know if certain characters would have ended up with different characters at the end of Chain of Thorns. I can't imagine Cassandra Clare would do that, but okay, this sounds very vague. But I think if you've read them both, I feel like you might know what I'm talking about. But that was also just very interesting. But like overall, I had a really good time reading this book. I feel like there are a million other things that I could potentially say about Great Expectations. I've definitely written like a million things throughout this book. Like I annotated this so heavily, but honestly, like it's so satisfying. Like listen to that. Beautiful. Anyway, I do have other books that I need to update you on, because I just spent 15 minutes talking about Great Expectations, but I do feel like it's a rather monumental book for me to have finished because of my love for The Last Hours and how I've been trying to read it for like the last 2 years, and I finally did it, and it was a really good time. So I absolutely think at some point in time I'm going to have to read A Tale of Two Cities, which I think is set like with the backdrop of the French Revolution. I do know like a few things that happen throughout that book, mainly thanks to the Infernal Devices, because they talk about it so frequently. So I do kind of know, I guess, the sort of the big thing that happens at the end of the book, but I don't know which one, like which character it happens to, which is very similar to how I read the Infernal Devices, because like I knew there was something big that happened at the end of that series, but I didn't know which character it happened to. So many parallels. But anyway, no more talking about Charles Dickens, but I do definitely plan to read more of his work. Anyway, I have quick overview of all of the books that I managed to read in this vlog, and then I will let you go. So I did read A Perilous Undertaking by Deanna Raybourn. I think I'm gonna give this one a 4 stars. I very much enjoyed it. Love Veronica and Stoker so much, and I can't get over them. Did not read a single page of Clockwork Prince, but that's okay. I did finish Lore Olympus Volume 3, which I also adored. Like, it was so fun. I love these so much. And then I read 200 pages of House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J. Maas. It's happening. That's all I'll say about it. I am a 1/4 of the way through those, which I feel like is decent progress for the amount of time that I really spent reading this weekend. So yes, I am out of breath because I've been talking for like almost 20 minutes attempting to wrap up this vlog. So I'm going to let you guys go. I really hope you enjoyed this vlog. If you did, please do let me know down below if you've read any of the books that I've read in this vlog. Specifically, have you read Great Expectations, or have you read any classics recently? I feel like that could be something fun to talk about in the comments down below. But if you have not, as always, tell me how you guys are, tell me what you're reading, tell me anything you want to tell me. I am all ears, and yes. Did I already say thank you for watching? If I did not, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next vlog.